Are you someone who is into podcasts? Perhaps you want to have a really cool library where you can find some great podcasts to listen to on your commute to work. Or maybe you're looking to create one yourself. Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast, all right? It's free. It has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your PC. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. Complete ease, hassle-free. So that way you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as many more outlets. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Okay, folks? Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. It's fantastic. All right? And if you want to get started right now, all you got to do is download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new week here on Just a Glimpse. We are actually the final week of August for 2020, so this is the last episode here for the month of August. It's been a great month. We had some great conversations. This time around, we're going to be discussing Hyperscape, which is a brand new free-to-play battle royale from Ubisoft. Now, normally those of you who know me know that I would never promote a battle royale game. They're not for me. I don't like them. However, this one is special. This is the first one I actually enjoy playing, and that's why I want to talk about it today, because it addresses a lot of issues that I've had with battle royales in the past, where they would feel like they were really, really slow-paced, or they would encourage camping, or other issues like having you pick a set hero that would have set weapons or abilities, things like the like. This game is not like that. Listen to what I have to say about the game. Hopefully it will entice you to give it a try, and go from there. The way battle royales in the past have been designed, it would pretty much encourage people to camp. So you would have people that would see where the bubble is moving in, kind of get an idea where they can hide out, and then they would just hide. Whether they were playing Fortnite and they would hide in a bush, or they would hide in buildings, or whatever, depending on what BR you're playing, people would just camp and hide out, wait for everybody to kill each other, then they would get to the end, and then maybe they can, get an easy win. And I do not like that. I feel if you're going to be playing a game, you need to play the whole time and earn your way to the end, and not just, sit there and hide and wait it out. So I always dislike that feature within BR. Now, when it comes to Hyperscape, it's very, very fast-paced. I know Apex is a fast-paced BR, but the thing that I don't like, why I'm not interested in Apex, is that one you have to pick your hero, and so you're picking that hero, so it's more like Overwatch in a sense, where you have to pick a hero, and then that hero has set abilities and weapons or whatever, and you very well might play with other people that are going to want to fight over who's going to get who. I don't want to mess with that nonsense, okay? So that's unappealing to me. Now, Hyperscape fixes these issues by they allow you to pick a champion. It's just basically cosmetic. You pick your champion and it's cosmetic only, so you won't have to worry about it being like Overwatch, where you're going to get unique abilities or anything by picking your set champion. This one is purely cosmetic. You pick an individual that you particularly care about, that you like the look of, like the sound of, and you go and you have fun. And each champion has their own background story as well. So if you're someone who's into lore, this game actually does have lore for those of you that love researching and diving into the game to try to find all the lore. This game has that for you. So you can learn about the different champions, you can learn about what's going on within Hyperscape and everything. Now, they don't do a bubble. When BR came around, everybody was doing like the bubble, and it would slowly get smaller and push everybody into the center. Now, because of that, like I said, it encouraged people to camp, because you could see, okay, what's moving in here, so it's going to eventually get to this point, so I know I can just go over this way, and I can just wait it out as people slowly come in. Hyperscape gets rid of that by basically getting rid of the bubble, and instead they will have different like districts in the city that'll randomly get chosen to disintegrate and basically be erased, which forces players to keep moving. You can't sit and camp out because the spot you're in, you're not going to know which one's going to disappear, so you got to keep moving, and eventually it'll push everybody to one district in the city together, and then you do your thing. So I really like that. Like I said, I love the fact that everyone keeps moving. There's not going to be a lot of people camping for very long. You can camp for a bit, but you're not going to be able to do it for very long because of it. You got to keep moving. The stuff's going to be gone, and I love that. Let's see here. It's very, very fast-paced, which I said. I love the futuristic aesthetic the game has. I'm a sci-fi nerd, so the fact that this takes place in like the future is super appealing to me, and it's just a lot of fun. Now, Hyperscape is actually... Now, the game takes place in the future back... it's like 2053 or something like that. And basically, everybody is living in... Earth is overpopulated. Everyone's crammed together in these really big mass cities. And people are just very depressed and unhappy. I mean, you're crammed up in like basically a sardine can kind of feeling of just overpopulation and poverty and things. So people use VR as a way of escape, so technology has gone a long way in this future. Now, there's this company called Prisma Technologies. They're basically the big company that when it comes to the different technologies and the VR. Now, they have this game called Hyperscape. It's basically an escape for you to get out of your to escape reality. You go into Hyperscape and you play to compete against others in this crown rush battle against like 99 other people, and if you happen to get the crown, you're promised that you'll have a better life. So think of it kind of like Hunger Games. Like you win so you can have a better life for your family or whatever. So kind of similar to that, but not quite at the same time. And the thing is as you start diving into the lore, you'll start noticing that things aren't as what they appear. There's some more evil, sinister stuff at play. People that are going into the Hyperscape are disappearing, and so now you need to, not only are you playing your VR game, but now you have the lore where you need to, if you're interested, you can go and find out what's really going on. And it's really, really cool. And so yeah, definitely go ahead and check that stuff out. It's a really cool game. Now, when you're playing the game, you're going to have your different weapons as well as things that are called hacks. Now, I'm going to go over what you have in this game so that way you'll have an idea if you decide to go check it out. Now, this game is free, like I said, and it is available on all platforms right now. You can go play it on PC, Xbox One, or PS4. They are getting ready to roll out another patch here real soon. Save is happening right now, so if you were to play it, let's say on PlayStation, your progression would continue over on PC, kind of like how Destiny 2 had like their cross save, where you just pick up where you left off and you keep going. It's just like that. So you won't have to worry about, if you're playing with friends on PC or on console, you won't have to worry about starting over twice like you would if you were playing like Overwatch. That stuff doesn't carry over, so you have to start all over again. Now, they made it to where your stuff would continue within your battle pass and things like that, things you unlock, which is fantastic. They are working on getting cross-play in there, so that way, we can all play together, which is going to be amazing because it'll definitely help the game when it comes to like the player base, because this game has a good amount of players. Like, I'm not having issues getting into matches or anything like that, at least not for the North American servers. Now, making it cross-play brings people together and will help keep this game alive, because this game is really good. I thoroughly enjoy it, And like I said earlier, normally I would never promote a BR game because personally I don't like them, but this one I really do seriously enjoy. And now you have your different weapons in the game. First off would be, I'll kind of go off of them. Now you have one called the D-tap. So think of like your directional on your like controller. So your D-tap. Now that's a handgun. It's an automatic, and it's an automatic like smart pistol of sorts. So think of, for those of you who have played Titanfall, you may recall that when you played Titanfall, they had a handgun in there that had auto aim. All you had to do was point in the direction where people were. It would auto target. All you had to do was pull the trigger. So it's like that. Now you're gonna be like, well, that sounds pretty freaking lame, man, to have auto target. This is the only weapon that does it, and to ensure that it's not ridiculous, it does the weakest damage in the game. Okay, so yes, you're auto targeting people, but it's the weakest gun in the game, so you won't have to worry about that. So if you're attacking somebody with full health, you're not gonna kill them with this gun. Okay, it's a good gun to use for those of you that are beginners and you're trying to get used to the way that the game flows with the different movements and the jumping and things like that. So you can kind of get the hang of it. It's kind of like a starter weapon for those of you that need it. And it does come in handy when you're going to, if you do make it to, let's say like the final showdown, and you have a lot of enemies that are weaker in health, you can pick them off pretty quickly with it. So it does have its uses. Now, a thing that you do in this game is you fuse your weapons, and what that is you go and you find more versions of the same weapon, and then you'll grab those, and that will basically upgrade your weapon. Unlike other BRs where you go and you smash boxes and you hope that you find a high tier weapon that's, you know, really good quality, instead of doing that and hoping to get lucky with RNG, instead you go and you find the weapons you like, and then you keep finding those weapons over and over again, and it levels up your weapon, and then you can get it maxed out, which is another factor that I love about hyperscaping, because it gives everybody equal opportunity to get a maxed out weapon rather easily, versus someone being super lucky and getting one at the beginning and then they're just OP to everybody else. So this is a great thing. Now, when you go and you fuse the D-tap, all that's going to do for the first few fuses is just going to increase the magazine size, and then the final one will not only increase your magazine, but it'll also increase the damage a little bit. Alright, now the next weapon, which is one of my favorites, is called the Riot 1. It's another it's another pistol, and this one is a revolver, and so it's very hard hitting, it's like a heavy hitting weapon, but it's slow. You know, it's a revolver. So if you're a fan of, let's say, like the Wingman in Apex, or if you like things like the Desert Eagle, if you played like CS:GO or something like that, then this is a weapon that will definitely appeal to you as well. I really love this gun. I have a lot of fun with it. And as you fuse it, fusing this one goes directly to damage. You're not going to get like more rounds or anything, because that wouldn't make sense. It's a revolver, it's a 6-shot. So you're just increasing the damage as you fuse it. Great weapon, love it. The next one is the Mammoth MK1, which is a pump action shotgun. So like any shotgun, it's going to be, you know, very high damage, very deadly at close range. They do have an issue with this one that they're patching this week, where it has like this it's kind of OP right now. You can shoot somebody at high damage at a pretty, you know, long range. So the Mammoth is currently going to be getting a nerf in the patch that comes out this week. So that will be addressed. But otherwise, yeah, it's a really great gun, especially if you're running through buildings and things and you need to clear out rooms. You can run in and pop people off and take them out. You know, great close encounter weapon. When you go and you fuse it, you're going to increase the magazine size, as well as the max level of fuse will increase some of the damage as well on it. Now, like I said, they are going to be nerfing this gun because it is OP, it has crazy range, and the damage is through the roof. So they're going to be dialing this stuff back for that one. There's also a gun called the Dragonfly, and it has a mid-range scope on it. and it's basically a semi-automatic rifle. I personally do not like it. It shoots too slow for me, and I just feel like I'm not getting the impact I need. I don't like the scope on it. I feel like it's not zoomed in enough to my liking, and you can't zoom in and out. It's just set. Once you aim, it locks into the set range. I think it's like a 3 times zoom, possibly. I don't know for sure, and I just don't like it. It's not for me, but if it is a solid weapon for those of you that want to check that out. Another weapon that I really love is the Ripper. It's an assault rifle. Okay, so if you think of it like just any run-of-the-mill assault rifle in any kind of shooter, this is basically pretty standard. It's a very good gun, nice and handy. You can use it in pretty much any kind of situation, whether you're in a close range, at far, long or mid-range. It's a great gun. When you go ahead and you fuse this one, you're going to be increasing the magazine size, and then of course, the max fuse will then increase the damage a little bit too. And then there's another weapon called the Komodo. Now this is a plasma launcher. Personally, I do not like this gun, but it does have its uses, and if this is more your thing, then go ahead and play around with it. Now the Komodo will fire like this plasma ball that explodes and does AoE in like the small radius. So it does a decent amount of damage, and it can push your opponent's back for a little bit with the blast, so that comes in handy. And so when you fuse it, you're going to increase the magazine size as well as some damage a little bit when you hit that max fuse. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and check out the Komodo. Next would be the Hex Fire, which is very popular right now within the with players right now. It's a Gatling gun, so of course it makes sense. Everybody wants to just sit there and spray and pray. It's a very good weapon. And this one is also within this patch that comes out this week is getting nerfed because it's a little OP right now. Basically, you get a whole bunch of people running around with a Gatling gun where they don't have to reload very often, and they just sit there and they just dwindle down at your health really quickly. So they're going to do a patch where they're going to reduce the magazine size on it to help balance it out so it's not so ridiculous. When you fuse it, it increases your mag size, and the maximum fuse will give you more damage. And because it's so OP, like I said, they are nerfing the Hex Fire, so that way the magazine size will be smaller than what it is now when you hit, as you're upgrading it. So that's getting addressed. So no worries to those of you that are like, I heard things about it. No worries, it's getting addressed this week. Next is the Protocol 5, or V, Protocol V, I think they mean Protocol 5. Makes sense. Roman numerals, guys. Alright, so the Protocol is the sniper rifle in the game. It is fantastic. It's bolt action. It has an 8x zoom scope on it. Very good for long range. There's no bullet drop. Any shooter, when you play these games, you want to aim for the head, you do more damage, and if you get that critical, especially when you have your weapons max fused, if you get a headshot, it's basically, you can get like an instant kill, especially with the Protocol. It's instant kill with the maxed out Protocol with a headshot. It's so one hitter quitter, fantastic. But it's really hard to get those headshots. Unless you get that practice and you get really good, then you're gonna be kicking that ass. When you fuse the Protocol, you're just straight up increasing damage only. All right, you're not gonna get a larger magazine or anything like that, or clip. It is, like I said, it is bolt action. You're just increasing damage, and that's why when you get that max fuse, if you get that headshot, boom, it's done. Alright, it's great. Next is the Salvo EPL. It's a grenade launcher. Now, I do like this gun, but it's difficult to use, and if you start trying to mess with people at range, it's not useful at all. You gotta kind of keep people up close, so it's not. And the grenades, they kind of like lob. You have to kind of art them, and I don't like that. If you look at grenade launchers in real life, they kind of propel outward. They jettison out. So a real grenade launcher is modeled more closely to something like the boom shot in Gears of War. Not quite like that. That's still fictional. But the way that the projectiles move is similar to that in real life, and in this case, this one, they have it kind of arc up and lobs and stuff, and so that makes sense, where if you try to use it at range, it's not any good. But anyways, it does have some powerful grenades that will bounce off of things, and they'll explode on impact with other players, so that, you know, so if you are hitting people directly with it, you're going to be doing some pretty good damage. And if you can get them, you know, crammed up in a building or something and get them in a tight corner, you're going to be able to do a lot more damage, a lot easier to them, versus them being out in the open and you know, being able to escape. As you fuse the salvo, you're going to increase the mag size as well as the damage on the maximum level fuse. Another weapon is called the Skybreaker, which is an energy cannon. This is one of the most powerful weapons in the game, but it's one of my most hated. Like, I don't use it. Like, I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the way it, you know, it shoots. It's not for me. Despite the fact of it being the most powerful, you actually don't see everybody running around with it, because it's not easy to use and it's not very practical. But, you know, it's a more difficult weapon. But if you end up getting really good with it, then yeah, it's, you know, a solid weapon to use. Now, it shoots like this ball of like energy, so think of it like this like electrocution like energy orb thing that will explode when it on impact, and it'll do some AoE. Now, the further this like little orb ball travels, the wider the damage radius and higher the damage. So you don't want to be shooting people close range with this. You actually want to do long range, but it's really, really hard to do long range, because when you shoot this orb, it kind of travels kind of slow. Like, you can see it kind of moving, and it makes it difficult to aim too. You gotta try to get it where you need to go, and being that people are moving so fast, by the time it reaches the area you shot at, the person probably jumped away a while ago. So it's more difficult. So you need to kind of use it to, as, you know, kind of need to sneak up on people with it. Not for me. But it's really good if you're clearing out the inside of a building at a distance, if you're, you know, shooting into a window, if you know, or if someone's, let's say, hiding inside a monorail car, you can shoot it into the monorail car and you can take them out, you know, at range, things like that. So it has its uses. It works really, really well if you want to combo it. Slam and teleport are great hacks to use with the Skybreaker if you want to become really, really good with it. And I'll go over what those are after I'm done with these weapons. And as you fuse the Skybreaker, you're just increasing damage on that one. Alright, and then the only other weapon you get is your starting weapon, which is your melee weapon. You start off in the game with a baton, and then as you play, you're going to unlock new weapons, you know, swords and hammers and all kinds of different things. They're pretty much cosmetic. They all swing and do the same amount of damage. So those are basically just cosmetic. You'll do 20 damage per hit with your melee weapon, and you use them to bust through windows and doors of buildings so you can get in, so you can conserve ammo and get in silently. Also, if you're running and you have your melee weapon out, you run faster that way as well, so it comes in handy. And they have a special game mode that they put in called Lethal Melee, so if you go ahead and you put your melee weapon out and you're running into people, it's a one-hitter quitter when that mode is engaged. Lots of fun. Alright, so that takes care of the weapons. Now remember, I had said that there is also hacks in the game. Hacks are your special abilities that you're going to pick up, okay? First one I'll say is you're going to have an armor hack. You can go, you know, which is going to do exactly that. It's going to give you like this, you know, temporary like armor buff where it's going to be used for, you know, defense and protect you. The downside is it's 100% defensive. You can't attack anyone while it's activated, so it's used for you to, if you're in a situation that you're just getting overpowered, you need to get out, throw your armor on. They won't be able to do any more damage to your health for a moment. Allows you to get away, or allows your squad, if you're playing with squads, to, you know, get there and help you out so that you have a moment to get away, take a breather, get some health while your team does whatever, and then you get right back in the action. There is the ball hack. Now the ball hack, basically think of like this large ball that engulfs the player. So you use it to navigate around the city. It bounces, so you just kind of bounce around the city. It helps you travel faster. It also gives you It also gives you a shield as well, so it protects you. So if you need to get out of a place, you throw that on, they do less damage to you, and you can traverse through the city a little quicker. So it has its use. I personally like using the ball. It's one of my favorite ones. It's definitely one that I always try to have on, for me personally. And the other one is Slam, which is my other favorite one that I always like to keep on. You can only have 2 hacks at a time, so I tend to run with Ball and Slam. I do use other ones if I need to, but those are my favorite ones. Now, Slam is basically what you would think. It's going to launch you into the air really, really high, and then you slam down really, really fast and hard onto the ground, and you'll do like a little bit of AoE when you hit the ground. So if you do it near a group of enemies or whatever, you land it next to them, you can do some damage to their health. It comes in handy. It's also really great for navigating and traversing the city. That's what I use it for primarily, is so I can quickly get to the top of a building. If someone jumps up there, I can get up there real quick, or I can launch over buildings to get away, or things like that. I use it more for traveling, like traversing the city, than I do for attacking people, but you can use it to do damage if you slam next to them too. So multi-use, it's a great hack. I love it. Okay, so you have the invisibility hack, which for a limited time, like a small window, you can go invisible. So think of it like any other cloak in any other games that, so it has its uses. So if you need to get away, go invisible, you're invisible for a few seconds. It allows you to run around a corner, hide, get into a building, or just outrun people. Or you can even use it to sneak up on people. I like using it when the lethal melee gets turned on. I go invisible, I run into a group of people so they don't see me coming, and then as soon as you use your weapon, your invisibility, disables, so they'll see me, but I already snuck up on a group and I can start, hacking away and taking them out. Great tool. Love it. There's another one called Teleport. So you pick a location on the map and it'll instantly appear on that location. Now, if a teammate has turned into what they call an echo, so basically, like I said earlier, Hyperscape is a virtual reality world. So you don't just die it's VR. So you don't die. It's not like Fortnite or something where you get hit and you're gonna get downed and someone has to take you out and you're dead. No, you get turned into like this data echo stream thing that you can walk around, and you can try to find a place to be resurrected and come back and get another life, which is nice. If somebody is an echo, you can use teleport to go right instant to the restore point and bring them back right away. So it allows for team resing to be a lot faster. I don't like teleport. I struggle with it because you have to take the time to open your map and pick up and plot stuff, and I don't have that kind of time to be doing that nonsense. So I don't mess with teleport. They have a wall hack, so it's basically that, you build a wall. Alright, so you can use it to provide cover. If you got someone who needs to be restored and they're in an area where people are fighting, you can throw the wall up to give you some protection while you try to revive your friend. Or if you're being chased through a building, you can throw the wall hack up, closes off the doorway, and while you go and jump out a window or something and you keep moving, it slows your opponents down to where they have to, find all the way around to figure out where you went. So comes in handy. There's a heal hack, which is exactly what it does. It heals you and your teammates. It gives you like this little radius area that you plop it down, and then as long as anybody who's standing in it on your team is in there, you and yourself can heal really quickly. So it comes in handy. You do regen in the game too, but sometimes if you're in a heat of battle, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the health regen. So having that heal hack helps you heal faster so you don't get taken out real quick. There's a mine hack, so basically you have like this explosive mine that you plant, so it kind of looks like a digitized like sea mine. Think of like the mines you see under, that like the Navy uses. So it kind of looks like that, and it floats and it looks very, very digitized. And what happens then is that one has like this homing beacon, so if an enemy gets within its radius, it locks onto them and it'll follow them around and it'll hit them, so that way and it'll detonate. Very, very nice. I like that one too. It won't kill them if they have a lot of health, but it comes in handy if you're in a heat of battle. You throw it on, it locks onto somebody who may be weak if you're lucky, and it'll take them out. There is the shockwave hack, which, well, you hit it and it basically just pushes everybody away from that little radius of where the hack was detonated. And then there's also a hack called the magnet. Now, I forgot to mention it before because this hack had been temporarily removed from the game because it was one of the causes of some audio issues with the game, so they temporarily removed it, and they're going to be bringing it back here later on. And so what that one does is you use it, it'll pull the enemies in towards where the magnet is, which allows you to get up close and personal with you. So if you have a weapon that's really good up close, it allows you to bring them in and take them out. And then the final hack is called the reveal, and basically it does that. It reveals, opponents in the game that are nearby. So you flap that on. If there's any other player that's near you that's not part of your team, whether you're playing solos or squads, you'll get a triangle that looks red, or now that could be different colored if you're using any of the colorblind modes, but you'll get like this triangle just kind of showing you where the enemies are, so you can kind of track them for a moment, so you know where they are, whether you want to go and pursue them. If they're, if you were going after someone and you lost sight of them, you could throw a reveal on, figure out where they went, or you can use it to see where people are if you need to get away and avoid them. So it has its uses too. Great stuff. All right, so that's basically all the things you can use in the game. Like I said, there is lore. You can look into that. You can learn about, the Hyperscape. You can learn about the people that created it. And there's this AI called Grace. And there's a whole bunch of stuff with the lore. I don't want to really dive into that because some of you really are going to want to learn that stuff on your own. So I don't want to give you spoilers. But you can, go and do all the research for the lore. So, and one of the ways of doing that is the game has hidden these memory shards in the game. So as you're playing, you can even do some exploration and try to find the memory shards, which will unlock more of the lore, so you can get more of the story of what's going on in the real world while you're inside the virtual reality world. And you'll notice on some of these areas that you're in, you might see like this red looking like glitchy section. So we're trying to figure out what that is. Maybe the virtual reality that people are in might be corrupted. Maybe that's why people are disappearing. We don't know. We gotta find out. So figure out what's going on. Alright, so it's good stuff. A lot of fun. They do have the battle pass. So just like Call of Duty or any other game, you can go and you can get the battle pass. You'll have like the free pass where you get a couple little items as you unlock as you tier up. Or you can buy the premium pass, which allows you to unlock more of the items. They have like two versions. There's the regular premium pass that just give you just to give you what's on the battle pass, and then they have like the hyper premium pass, which will give you the kind of like how Call of Duty has like where they'll give you like they'll give you 25 tiers. Call of Duty gives you like 20, I think, with theirs. Hyperscape, if you get like the hyper premium, it'll give you 25 tiers and some more bonus items that you can't get without it. So it's an option if you want to go that route. Another really cool feature is this game is Twitch integrated, so they have this Crowncast extension. So if you're watching a streamer who's playing Hyperscape and they have this extension and you go ahead and you link it to your Ubisoft account, you can then earn Battle Pass rewards, special Battle Pass rewards that are Twitch exclusive, as well as you can earn XP towards the Battle Pass so you can level up. So let's say you're at work, you're not able to play the game, and you really need to level up. Guess what? You still can earn 400 XP a day through the extension. So you just throw up a streamer that you like that has the extension, and you interact with the extension, you're gonna earn XP, so you can still level up, you can still, get your Battle Pass items, you can get some special ones that are only on Twitch, and it also gives you the ability to vote on the special game modes. You remember how earlier I mentioned they have lethal melee mode? The Twitch viewers vote for that stuff to happen in your game. So there's lethal melee, which I said, you use your melee weapon, it's a one-hitter quitter. Lots of fun. I love it so much. It's definitely probably the most popular one people vote for when it pops up because it is so much fun. They have one where they have like this shipment container event, so they'll randomly drop 3 different like shipment containers, and you go to them and you're guaranteed maxed out items within that. So if you are struggling to find stuff to level up or to fuse your weapons, if you get to one of those containers, then you can go ahead and get everything. They have a low gravity event, which literally drops the gravity, so you just start floating around. So if you jump up, you're going to go really, really high. They have an infinite ammo event. They have events for revealing, healing. They have a cooldown event, so that way if you go and you grab these little, they kind of look like spark plugs in a way. You go and you grab these things, and what it does is it cools down your hacks and stuff, so you can use your hacks more frequently, so you can run around and keep, using your stuff. Really, really good. I'm trying to think of all of them off the top of my head, honestly. I know there's more. I can't think of the other ones, but there's a lot of really cool stuff in there. So you have that option as well. Really, really, really cool. And doesn't matter if you're playing on PC or console. You just link your Ubisoft account, because you can link your console, like your Xbox or your PSN, to your Ubisoft account, and it still ties in. And like I said, all your stuff is tracked between everything. So really, really, really good. So make sure you guys check that out as well for more bonuses. But I think that pretty much covers what Hyperscape is. Oh, and it takes inside Hyperscape, the city itself is called Neo Arcadia, and it looks to me like it's modeled off of a very futuristic version of Paris. And they even have like a cathedral here that looks a lot like Notre Dame. So I feel like they took some inspiration from Paris, which would make sense. It's Ubisoft, they're based in France. So it's really nice seeing them, model something after, where they're from. So that's pretty cool. Well, yeah, go ahead and check it out. It's free to play, lots of fun. And if you happen to play on Xbox, you come join me, at least until they get the crossplay put in. And then once crossplay's put in, then yeah, I don't care what you play on. Let's play, let's have fun. I try to stream it multiple times throughout the week. It's just great. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, enjoy it. It's a great game, and I really hope that more people will give it a go. I feel like Battle Royale is so oversaturated right now that people are like, they have the ones that they really enjoy and they aren't really open to moving on at this point. So either you're going to be playing Fortnite, Apex, or maybe like PlayerUnknown or something, and you're going to kind of stick with that, or Warzone. So if you want to try something different, or at least be open-minded and give it a go, maybe you'll like it. I hope you like it. And yeah, that's it. So give it a go, and thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed what you heard and you found Hyperscape intriguing. Check it out, lots of fun, and make sure you hit that follow button. Tell your friends and family about the show if you enjoyed what you have been hearing thus far. Word of mouth is powerful. I needs it to grow. You guys are awesome. Check me out on social media. Just search Cool Cat Terror. You can find me everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on Discord. I'm all over the place. Check out my Twitch if you want to catch me live. Good stuff. Thank you so very, very much, and I'll catch you again next week. Take care, my friends.